Well, we're back at Woodhaven today, and we're going to do some letterboxing. And Ducky's never letterboxed before, so I'm going to teach her how to do this.
How cool.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So letterboxing is kind of a lot like treasure hunting. So if you like to go and look for stuff that's hidden, it's a lot of fun. But then you also, if you like secret codes, I think that's what I like about it is once you learn a secret code, like you can pass notes back and forth to your friends at school, and a teacher wouldn't be able to know what you're talking about. So I'm going to teach you. Ducky's a teacher. Shh. Well, anyway, well, hey, you'll have the code sheet, so
yes.
You'll be able to too. So we are going to take our letterboxes and go find the hidden letterbox. But first of all, what you need to do is you need to get this clue sheet, and one of the clues is using the alphabet and numbers. So we don't know where we're going yet. So you're going to have to figure out this code. And one really cool way to do it is the alphabet. So A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. So when you see letters like 19, you'd have to come and find 19. And so 19 is S.
S, okay.
So I think you have a pencil in that box there.
Yes.
There you go. Pretty soon she's going to make her own box, but she's going to borrow one of mine. So she's going to figure out, so she's looking at the number and finding the number over here. So S-H-E. So we're going to let her do this for a little bit, and we'll come back once we have the clue.
So I got it to be shelter with a wet view.
So the clue's shelter with a wet view, so wet.
Where would that be? What's wet? Water, maybe?
Yeah, so with the clues you just kind of have to figure. So I think the only thing around here, there's no creeks, but there's the pond. So
let's go see if there's maybe a shelter by there.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our letterboxes, and supposedly somewhere over in a shelter with a wet view, maybe by the pond, there's going to be a hidden letterbox, and we'll tell you what we're looking for and what we're going to do when we get there.
Let's go. Right, so we're at the pond, so let's start looking and see if we can find this letterbox.
Well, it says a shelter, so...
A shelter. Well, isn't a lily pad technically a shelter?
Well, yeah.
No box. Okay, let's see what else we can. But that looks like a shelter.
Yeah, here's a shelter. Ah, I think I spy it.
You see it? I see it! Ah!
All right. Yay, we found the box. So let me explain what letterboxing is. So now you've noticed I have a box, and Ducky has a box, and now we've found a box. And what we want to do is somebody planted this box, and in this box they have a pad and a stamp, or an ink pad, and a stamp. What did I say? A pad.
Ink pad, and a stamp.
Yeah, there we go. Hey.
And some leaves.
Right, and some leaves. So whoever planted this, you know, they put this together, they want people to find it, and they're going to collect stamps in this pad. So every time a person comes by and finds this, they will stamp it. So they collect that. In the meantime, I have the same stuff in here, and so what I want to do is I want to collect in mine all the stamps that I find in the letterboxes. Okay? So, Ducky, what we're going to do is get our pads out.
Okay.
Find a spot here, and I'm going to use my ink because I like my color. So that's their. So you want to collect that stamp. Both you and I want to collect that in our pads, our paper pads. If you can get the. If you can get that open. There we go.
All right. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Stamp it on my page.
Ooh, cool.
Here you go.
Okay, so I'm going to use my color here. Let's see, I'll get the last page. And sometimes I go for overkill, so I'm going to do 2 butterflies. Okay, and then we're going to put that back in this box. And then now what we're going to do, I'll just use my ink pad, is I'm going to use my stamp, and I'm going to stamp their pad. So get your stamp out.
My stamp's the flashlight.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
So look, a lot of people have found this. So there we go. So now, and I've got a lantern. Hey, you have a flashlight, I have a lantern. We could be buddies.
We're lighting.
And we might as well just put it on the same page.
How cool.
All right.
And I have a pencil, so if we want, we could also write our names that we've been here.
Well, yeah, but you may not want to put your real name, but Ducky is great.
Oh, okay.
You probably want to have like a, a trail name or a camp name, because you don't want anybody to know your real name. So I'm going to put that back in here. And then you know what I like to do is, give me your pencil again.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to put the date, so this is July 2nd, 2020. And I'm going to say the clue, shelter with a wet view. That's just so I can remember. So sometimes people will use these as sort of kind of a journal.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty cool.
I had friends one time that went letterboxing, and she read me an entry one time. It was the date, and it was where it was, and they said, this is where the woman was walking the dog with 3 legs. So anyway, you can just put whatever in there that you want. So, all right, well let's head back, because now we want to be able to show you how to make your own box and how to hide a box.
Awesome.
Sound cool?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, we'll meet you back. So now that you've seen what letterboxing is all about, how you want to collect, the stamp impressions, you want to collect from the letterboxes you find, but now you also, need to know what how to do this. So I'm going to show Ducky how to make her own letterbox. So what you need is some kind of a plastic container that has a lid. And you can use Tupperware, you can use ammo boxes, whatever, as long as you can put stuff in it. And then, so Ducky, hang on to that, because that's going to be yours. And then you need a pad of paper. And you can get these at Walmart. These are 4 in a package for like 88 cents. They're really cheap. And so now you've got your box, you've got your journal or your pad of paper. Then you need some ink. And you can get these at Hobby Lobby, Walmart has them, some of them are a little smaller. Any color will do, so you need your own little ink pad. And then you need a stamp. Now you could go buy stamps, so I have a whole bunch of them here. See if you find something that you would like. So you can go out and buy a stamp, but you don't really, if you don't want to spend the money.
I found a s'more stick. Roasted marshmallows.
It has marshmallows on it, okay? So, but I'm going to say, why don't you leave this here, because we're going to make our own.
Okay.
Okay, so, to make a stamp, there's a lot of different ways. One thing that would be easy is go ahead and grab, these are small pieces of wood. So if you have any wood at home, tree cookies, anything like that, but I stole somebody's drink. You could actually even use the cap off of a drink, off of a bottle, plastic cap or whatever. So, Ducky, go ahead and take a piece of wood. And then what you need is something to bring out this impression here. And so the easiest way is to find some foam pieces, and these just have the paper on the back, and you can just pull the paper off and it's sticky. So here's, so I found earlier, here it hit a little rhinoceros, but what'd you find?
I found a chicken.
Okay, so peel off the back. So when you use this, what you're going to do is, you want to be able to have the impression is the only part that gets the ink on it. So
I gotta peel out his wing.
yeah, sometimes these have little,
And his eye.
yeah, so you can see the design. So anything that is underneath this will not show. So once she gets that stuck on there, it has a lot of little intricate designs on it.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
So go ahead and stick that on and get the most of it that you can. Now this is just about perfect. So if you have any edges sticking over, you can trim her feathers if you'd like. But so go ahead and ink that up there and see. So see how that looks like a chicken. Now go ahead and ink it. Just use that. And then, there we go. So it really doesn't matter what color your foam is. The only thing is, don't put any, sometimes foam comes with sparkly glitter on it. We don't do glitter. So there we go. There's your stamp. So now you've got, go ahead and put that in your box. So you have your ink pad. You've got your
My ink
pad, so your stamp that you made, and now you've got your pad, and you are all set to go.
How cool.
So what you do for letterboxing, this is perfect for right now if you're social distancing with your family in the backyard, is to make a couple boxes like this and hide them. And then what you need to do is come up with some clues where you hid them. So maybe you have a bush in your backyard. So come up with a clue, and again, you can use numbers. There's a lot of ways to use clues. And then have your own box. If you have brothers, sisters, get one of your parents. You know, they can have a box. You can go out and collect, and it's a lot of fun. So that's letterboxing. The only other thing I didn't mention is you can Google letterboxing, and there is a site on there that you can look up, and you can actually find letterboxes in your own town, and you could go out and collect stamps. Doesn't that sound cool?
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so they're in like parking lots, they're in cemeteries, they're in bridges out on roads. Be careful with that, with traffic, but
Absolutely.
so anyway, so there you go. That's a fun activity to do in your own backyard. So start your own letterboxing. You can go out and collect stamps and have a good time. Did you like that?
I want to go find more.
All right, well, let's go.
Let's go.
Alrighty.